Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Whiteboard Wednesday. I'm Nick Bjorn. Today we're talking about why your crypto tax reporting can often be wrong and how to fix it. Let's go. Hey guys, I want to jump into a quick example with you all on why we are paying too much in crypto taxes typically. And here is a really good example. This is one that really brought it to light for myself, and I think it's going to work really well for you. To visualize, we have Coinbase, Binance, Kraken, all decentralized exchanges. All decentralized mean they're not speaking to one another and they're not passing accounting information like cost basis to one another. So that becomes a big issue, especially when we get down to this 1099 piece. The 1099 is what they issue you, what they're reporting to the IRS that you owe, and that lets the IRS know what you have on your exchange, more or less. So when these are wrong, you're paying too much. So this is an issue. With Coinbase, let's kind of drop into an example. If we bought an ETH on Coinbase and we transferred it from our wallet to another wallet on Binance that we own, how much tax do we owe? Well, if it's your wallet and that's your wallet, you don't pay any tax. That's like taking a $20 bill out of your pocket and putting it back into your other pocket. It's still your pocket, right? So Coinbase doesn't necessarily see that, and the 1099 doesn't necessarily reflect that. What Coinbase will typically do is they will say that you sold it because they're not sure where it went. So to be safe, they're telling the IRS that you sold, therefore causing a taxable event. To take that a little bit further, and to add injury to insult, we see that they recorded you as selling it when you actually just transferred it. So now you created your first taxable event. Now you're over here at Binance and your 1 ETH shows up over here at $0 cost basis. So now there's no cost basis for what you acquired your original ETH at. Therefore, you're paying 100% of the tax from 0 to whatever you sell it for. So you're on the hook for that over here because there's no $0 cost basis, and that's not a good look. So now you have a really bad 1099. You have a $0 cost basis, and if you were to go and repeat this again and sell it, send it all the way to Kraken to another wallet that you own, you're not supposed to be paying taxes on that. It will say you sold it again, and it will say at a $0 cost basis on your 1099. So as you see, as you keep passing it through these different exchanges that aren't speaking to one another, your gains continue to grow astronomically. You start to double, triple, quadruple your tax as you go. So it's very important that you're able to wallet match. And there's a few solutions to this. One is you can go into a crypto tax software, you can tag all your wallets and match them there. Highly recommend that. Also, you can hire a crypto tax specialist to go in and do that work for you. Highly recommend that as well. They can usually find other optimizations as well for savings. So big opportunity to basically mitigate this whole thing. And we see this more often than not. I can't tell you how many times I see this, where people are transferring in and out of wallets, they're not wallet matching, and therefore they're paying astronomical amount of taxes. They thought they made all this money in crypto, but then they come and see their tax bill and they're like, wow, I'm really owe money now. So that's a big issue. The more you move your coins, the more issues you have if you are not wallet matching. So let's make sure we do that. So now I want to turn your attention over here because a lot of people come to me and go, well, Nick, don't worry. I don't use multiple exchanges. I don't use multiple wallets. I'm very simple. I just keep all my stuff on Coinbase, right? Well, not so good. Coinbase actually warns you on their tax webpage that their 1099s may be wrong. They're saying that in black and white text. And why is that? Well, they said if you bought or sold digital assets on another exchange, that information might be incongruent because going back to this right here, we can see that sometimes that cost basis isn't being passed. So they're basically pointing that out to you as well. Sent or received digital asset from a non-Coinbase wallet, that's the same issue. They're not receiving that tax information they need to properly calculate your 1099 correctly. And sent or received from another exchange, we just discussed that in our last example. And store digital assets on external storage device. I mean, how many times do we move our coins to external devices to keep them safe? It's one of the cold storage is a really great way to go. Protect your keys and keep it offline. And a lot of people should be doing this. We'll talk about this in other videos. And if you were to do this, you are also messing up your 1099 on Coinbase. Participated in an ICO, previously used a method other than a FIFO to determine your gains and losses. That's first in, first out. So this default method for accounting is usually the worst, to be honest with you. So if you're using first in, first out, you're usually paying the most amount of gain in your taxes. It's not the best look. So there are other ways to calculate. A company that specializes in this, like a crypto tax preparation company, are great at calculating other methods for you to save you. But if you go outside of that FIFO method, once again, you might have a wrong 1099. So there's so many things at play here that will make these inaccurate, make you overpay. So details matter. Getting with the right people matter in order to fix this for you. This is Nick. Appreciate you all. Talk to you next week.